Welcome back to Game Crunch, everyone, keeping up to date with the latest in the video game world. Now, today we've got a couple hot topics we're going to have to discuss, including the PS5 Pro. A lot of these PS5 Pro enhanced games, we're getting reports that some of them actually look worse on the PS5 Pro than they do on the PS5 base model. And then on top of that, the internet has been on fire over the weekend over the announcement that remakes and DLCs will be eligible for Game of the Year. And I might even give you a hot take on what my Game of the Year is. More on that in a second. But of course, if you like to stay up to date with the latest in the video game world, consider giving Game Crunch a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. If you find this information helpful, consider giving the video a like, and let's just get right into it. First up, a lot of PS5 Pro owners are reporting a lot of surprising issues. Instead of delivering enhanced visuals, games like Silent Hill 2 and Star Wars Jedi Survivor are allegedly performing worse on the Pro compared to the base PS5. Players on Reddit are frustrated with Silent Hill 2's so-called PS5 Pro Enhanced mode. The game runs at 30 FPS in quality mode with no noticeable improvements at all, while Performance mode introduces a distracting shimmering effect on surfaces like puddles and trees. The culprit appears to be PlayStation's Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. This upscaling technology uses AI to enhance visuals, but when the image lacks detail or intricate patterns, the results can be a little glitchy. In this case, shimmering visuals ruin the experience. Digital Foundry also took a close look at Star Wars Jedi Survivor on PS5 Pro and found severe image quality problems in Performance mode. They even said the Pro version looks dramatically worse than the base PS5's Performance mode before the Pro launched. Fans are calling on Sony and developers like Konami to acknowledge the issues and release patches. For now, though, PS5 Pro owners may want to hold off on celebrating those enhanced game tags. Wow, that really sucks for any of you guys that may have picked up one of those PS5 Pros. No one wants to start a game and then have all these glitches and everything kind of ruin the experience and then try and go back to it later, because it's just not going to happen. When you're in the game now, you're going to want to play the game now. But they do say a lot of it is due to AI. So, we do see this with a lot of AI video and a lot of AI image generation and all that, where things can get a little wonky. So if it's doing AI stuff on the fly, I'm not too surprised. Next up, the Game Awards is changing the game. Literally. Producer Jeff Keighley has confirmed that DLC, expansions, remakes, and remasters are now eligible in every award category. The update comes ahead of Monday's shortlist announcements for this year's show. The Game Awards website now states that it aims to recognize the best creative and technical work of the year, regardless of the release format. This means that everything from new game seasons to full-blown remakes can compete for awards. But there is a catch. The jury must decide if the content is worth a nomination based on its creativity, technical quality, and value. So we might see some fierce debates over whether a remake or DLC deserves to stand toe-to-toe with a fully original title. This year's event also marks the Game Awards' 10th anniversary, returning to the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles. With last year's show racking up over a record-breaking 118 million live streams, it's clear the gaming world will be watching this pretty closely. So in particular, I do find this pretty interesting for a few reasons. One of the main reasons is we've kind of seen this year has been kind of terrible for more Western developers. We've had games like Concord and Star Wars, which I hear Star Wars Outlaws isn't horrible, but I hear it's just kind of not very good either. It's just kind of mid. And then most of the best games of the year, we've got Final Fantasy VII Remake, we've got the Silent Hill 2 Remake, we've got Shadow of the Erdtree, and then we've got a lot of more Asian sort of developers, I guess, more Japanese. We've got Korean with Stellar Blade, and all of that coming out this year. So it hasn't really fared well for that kind of Western audience. Now, one of the things that's kind of got the internet up in arms with all this is Shadow of the Erdtree, Elden Ring, which Elden Ring actually won Game of the Year. So if Shadow of the Erdtree takes Game of the Year again, it's actually going to get in 2 separate years a Game of the Year award, which is completely unheard of. Now, Elden Ring in general, I really enjoyed Elden Ring, the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion. I definitely like the base game a lot more than the expansion. I just felt like the expansion, as far as leveling up and power progression, was just kind of Band-Aid patch things with all the seeds and whatnot. I gave it overall an 8. But if you followed me for any amount of time, you'll know that I'm not the biggest Dark Souls fan in general. I don't mind the games, but overall, it's not my favorite. Now, I told you I would get into what my hot take would be for Game of the Year, and honestly, the game that I enjoyed the most, the game that I would pick for Game of the Year, which I don't even think is going to get a Game of the Year nomination, is Dragon's Dogma 2. I just really love Dragon's Dogma 2. I think it's a fantastic RPG. That's my Game of the Year. Hate it or love it. But that's all I've got for you today. So, of course, let me know what you think down below. Did you get a PS5 Pro? Are you having any of these sort of glitchy issues with Silent Hill 2 or any other games? And what do you think? What is your Game of the Year? Let me know down below what you think should win Game of the Year. And I want to thank you all for tuning in again, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care.